What is the purpose of education? Is it to prepare students for their futures? According to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., education must enable a man to become more efficient and to achieve with increasing facility the legitimate goals of his life. After spending 10 years at a coeducational institution and 4 years at a single-gendered school, I have had the opportunity to explore the options that both types of education have to offer. Single-gender education can benefit students who feel that they are negatively impacted by gender stereotyping when being compared to peers of the opposite gender. Firstly, those who support single-gender education believe that it can give students the opportunity to learn in an environment without gender stereotypes. Next, those who oppose single-gender education say that it inhibits positive and constructive collaboration between males and females in the classroom. Finally, from my experiences in a single-gender classroom, I believe that single-gender education can help students grow intellectually and allow them to achieve more academically without being compared to students of the opposite gender. I will begin by first talking about why certain people believe that single-gender education is appropriate and effective for them. Supporters of single-gender education believe that students learn better in a single-gender environment due to the lack of gender stereotyping. Gender role stereotyping in education occurs when a person of one gender feels academically less adequate when being compared to peers of the opposite gender. Researchers Pennington, K., Qureshi, and Heim from the Department of Psychology at Lancaster University suggest that those in single-gender schools reported fewer experiences of gender stereotyping compared to their mixed-gender counterparts. Single-gender education identifies social ideals as well, especially in terms of social justice, by providing positive and uplifting learning environments for males and females that preserve their human dignity. Separating the two genders in an academic setting can also help to promote a positive sense of self-efficacy, which can help motivate students to reach their highest possible academic potentials. According to Janet Hyde from the Department of Psychology at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, in a 2014 article titled Gender Similarities and Differences, she writes, self-efficacy, a cognitive component, refers to a person's belief in his or her ability to accomplish a particular task. Another reason that single-gender education can be more effective learning environment for both males and females is because the two genders learn in different ways. Teachers can format their lesson plans in ways that appeal to the particular gender that they are teaching in order for the students to learn in the most effective way possible. Now that we have discussed several reasons why people are supportive of single-gender education, I will now touch on a few reasons why people hold the opposing perspective towards single-gender education. Separating males and females inside the classroom means that they don't get to experience casual everyday interactions with the opposite gender. According to researchers Pennington, K., Qureshi, and Heim of Lancaster University, single-gender education may also intensify gender stereotypes because students are unsure why they have to be separated during their educational experiences in the classroom, when the same is not concurrent in their working environments. When students who attended single-gendered schools may experience problems later in life when they go to adjust to working in a co-gender environment because they're not used to collaborating with them on a daily basis. In some instances, single-gender education may not adequately be preparing students for future positions in the workforce. Separating males and females can also be viewed as a social justice issue because as soon as a group of people are separated, they don't get to learn the same things and cannot have identical classroom experiences. To combat this inequality, males and females are educated together, and so they have the same access to information and they have equal learning opportunities. After discussing why certain people believe that single-gender education is not an appropriate and effective way to educate students, I will now talk about that impact that single-gender education has had on my learning experience. I think overall, single-gender education has had a very large and very positive impact on my life. I feel like it helped me to learn and grow in ways that I don't think I would have if I had attended a coeducational institution. When I first began taking classes at a single-gendered school, I quickly learned that I was really in a place where I could push myself academically in the presence of supportive peers. And Joanna Spura of the Australian National University in Canberra wrote in a 2014 article called Gender Roles. In the debate between single gender education, its advocates view it as an environment conducive to better learning among boys and girls. I agree with her statement because I feel like my peers were constantly encouraging me to be the best student I could possibly be, while I in turn was supporting and encouraging them to be their best selves as well. I also believe that single gender education coincides nicely with the theme of Catholic social teaching of solidarity. I think that striving for solidarity in the classroom means that every student is treated with justice and all students are helping to promote a peaceful and interactive learning environment. The Jesuit charism that I believe is best exemplified through single gender education is that of unity of heart, mind, and spirit. This charism challenges students and teachers to reflect on the choices that they're making and to be able to grow in all aspects of their lives. This Jesuit charism also helps students and educators make decisions that reflect God's good intentions for all people by enriching their lives and uniting their hearts, minds, and souls. Today, we talked about how single-gender education and co-educational learning environments provide different learning opportunities to their students. We discussed that certain people are in favor of single-gender education because it can provide students a place to learn without fear of negative gender stereotyping. Then we talked about why other people are in opposition to single-gender education, and they hold this viewpoint because they believe that single-gender education stands in the way of positive academic interactions between males and females. Lastly, we touched briefly on my educational experience, and we also talked about how single-gender education can become a social justice issue. As my time with you today comes to a close, I ask you to reflect on your own educational experiences and think about how these experiences impacted you. So if you attended a single-gender school, think about how life would be different for you if you had attended a co-educational school, and if you had attended a co-educational school, think about how it would have been different for you if you attended a single-gender school. Thank you.